Ever seen a moment so wild it made you cover your face in secondhand embarrassment? From Ron Artest storming into the stands to J.R. Smith's finals brain freeze, these weren't just slip-ups, they were moments that changed careers and left fans speechless. We're talking full-on chaos, broken trust, and raw emotion, punches that nearly ended lives, steals that stunned stars, and mistakes that still haunt players today. These 10 moments hit hard and live on for all the wrong reasons. Stick with us as we break them down, and don't forget to subscribe for more unforgettable NBA stories like these. Malice at the Palace, the brawl that shamed basketball. There is no way to discuss the NBA degrading without mentioning the malice at the Palace. In 2004, a drink thrown from the crowd triggered Ron Artest's charge into the stands, punching a fan he wrongly thought was guilty. Chaos exploded as players fought fans and each other in an unforgettable scene. The association handed out 146 games of suspensions to 9 players, including 73 games for Artest, the harshest punishment ever. This wasn't just a brawl, it was a black eye for the league that damaged its global reputation and led to massive security reforms. To this day, it remains one of the darkest, most disgraceful episodes in league history. The referee betrayal, Tim Donaghy's scandal. Imagine the shame when the world learned that referee Tim Donaghy had bet on games he officiated, secretly feeding inside info to gamblers and damaging the sport's heart. For someone trusted to uphold the game's integrity, it was an unforgivable betrayal that blindsided the league. Linked to mob connections, Donaghy's actions wrecked his 13-year career, led to prison time, and degraded not just himself, but the NBA. The scandal rocked the league, raising doubts about the fairness of games and forcing an overhaul of referee monitoring. Fans felt cheated, players were undermined, and the association's credibility took a huge hit that still lingers. A single man's greed discredited the league and remains one of the most shameful chapters in the basketball league's record, forever haunting the sport's legacy. Latrell Sprewell's attack on his coach. The Latrell Sprewell choking incident still stuns fans decades later as one of the most mortifying the association instances ever. In 1997, after coach PJ Carlesimo urged him to pass harder during practice, Sprewell snapped. In front of stunned teammates, he grabbed Carlesimo by the throat and threw punches, showing an unthinkable loss of control. It was a meltdown of professionalism that embarrassed the Warriors, the league, and fans everywhere. The league suspended Sprewell for 68 games, sidelining him for the rest of the season. What should have been just a heated practice became front-page news. The historic image of a player attacking his coach is burned into the league timeline as one of its most shameful, unforgettable scenes. Rasheed Wallace versus the referees. Rasheed Wallace didn't just disagree with referees, he treated them like enemies. In the 2001 season, he earned an astonishing 41 technical fouls, nearly one every other game, barking, pointing, and shouting openly, making sure everyone knew how little he respected their calls. No player has come close to matching this record, cementing Wallace as the NBA's poster boy for challenging authority and openly defying its rules. In Rasheed's world, referees weren't respected arbiters of the game. They were just another target for the Storm, making every interaction an unpredictable and fiery instance that shaped his rebellious legacy. The Rikasna versus Jordan humiliation. Disrespect defined. For role player Eldridge Rikasna, trying to beat Michael Jordan ended with one of the pro basketball's most embarrassing events. In a 1997 playoff game, Rikasna thought he had a clear lane for a dunk until Jordan faked a block, forcing him into a wild miss. To make things worse, incidentally, Jordan spun him like a top, making the defender stumble to the floor. The scene became an iconic reminder that challenging the best often ends with a lesson in humility, especially when that best is Michael Jordan. In seconds, Rikasna went from hopeful underdog to a poster boy for NBA humbling. The hit that long-lasting altered the NBA's boundaries. When Kermit Washington's punch shattered Rudy Tomjanovich's face in 1977, it horrified the entire sports world and beyond. Rudy had approached to break up a fight, but Washington's devastating reflex punch fractured Rudy's skull, leaving him near death and changing his life. The record-setting scene left fans, sponsors, and players speechless, forcing the NBA to completely change its handling of on-court fights and physical altercations. The brutal image of a peacemaker getting nearly killed on the court remains burned into league history as one of the most disgraceful, violent, and unforgettable scenes the league has ever seen. Both players' careers were scarred, public trust in player conduct was shaken, and the league's image took a deep, lasting hit. LeBron and Millsap, a disrespectful steal. LeBron James is one of the league's sharpest minds, making this incident with Paul Millsap stand out. In a 2019 game, LeBron attempted to save time by letting the ball roll down the court, but when he went to pick it up, Millsap swooped in and stole it for an easy dunk. The scene left LeBron jogging in confusion, fans gasping, and commentators shaking their heads. It was a rare instance where a player known for focus and dominance was publicly degrading, making it an enduring reminder that no matter how great, every player is susceptible to an event that leaves them looking careless and exposed. Shaq humiliates Dudley, a statement of dominance.
Against Dudley, nice! Shaquille O'Neal was so powerful on that move.
In 1999, Shaquille O'Neal delivered one of pro basketball's most infamous instances when he dunked over Chris Dudley and shoved him hard to the floor. The sheer power and dominance left Dudley humbled, and his fiery response, hurling the ball at O'Neal, only made the scene more memorable. It was an event that announced Shaq's unstoppable force, reducing Dudley to an unwilling poster boy for association dominance. The scene became an example of how quickly a player can be stripped of pride when challenged by a force of nature, making it one of the league's ultimate incidents of on-court embarrassment and raw emotion. Artist pulling Pierce's shorts, a disrespectful tactic.
Pacers and the Boston Celtics, and it's always a good matchup between Paul Pierce and Ron Artest. In fact,
Ron Artest's infamous move in 2005 was meant to throw Paul Pierce off his game, but it became a lesson in how quickly a player can degrade himself. During a Pacers-Celtics matchup, Artest tried to gain an edge by pulling down Pierce's shorts mid-play. The tactic failed miserably. Pierce sank a three-pointer right in Artest's face and refused to be rattled. To make matters worse, Artest tried making amends later by awkwardly serenading Pierce before a game. What started as a bold attempt to dominate ended up making Artest the one mocked endlessly for desperation and a glaring lack of sportsmanship, staining his reputation. J.R. Smith's costly gaffe, a disrespectful lapse. J.R. Smith's infamous error in the 2018 League Finals became one of the most embarrassing moments in NBA history. In the final seconds of a tied Game 1, Smith snagged an offensive rebound and, thinking his team was ahead, dribbled away from the basket instead of putting up a shot.
Dribble it away. And Hill could not get off a quality shot.
LeBron James waved desperately for the ball, but it was too late. The Cavaliers lost in overtime. The vent felt like a painful betrayal to both teammates and fans, cementing Smith's legacy as a player remembered for one costly mistake. It was a harsh lesson in how quickly trust can shatter when focus disappears, and how one error can haunt a legacy, timeless. From the malice at the Palace and Kermit Washington's punch to J.R. Smith's costly error and Rasheed Wallace's record-breaking technical fouls, these scenes weren't just embarrassing plays. They shaped the journey, shook trust, and left deep scars on the NBA's timeline. They're powerful reminders that one incident of anger, a single lapse in focus, or a careless decision can redefine a player's legacy forever. So, which of these plays do you think was the hardest to watch? Which one shocked you the most, and why? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your thoughts. If this breakdown gave you a new perspective, hit like, share, and subscribe for more stories that shape the league we love.